Hey guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. So today we're going to talk about a tough subject, and it's one that a lot of people are facing, and that is living paycheck to paycheck. So as inflation continues to be an issue, 64% of the US population is living paycheck to paycheck. And even among the people that are earning six figures, 48% of them now are living paycheck to paycheck. According to a report from financial services website Personal Capital, Americans are now saying that they need to make about $122,000 a year in order to feel financially secure. And that's more than twice the national average salary, you guys. So it's a big deal, and people are feeling the crunch. And I know it's a really difficult time right now. Inflation is making things even harder. And it feels like the cycle that you just can't get out of, right? It's like this wheel and you're just in it and you're like, how do I break this cycle? But you need to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck in order to win with money. And there are people that are just trying to make ends meet and they're feeling overwhelmed. They're behind on bills and they don't even know where to start when their money comes in. So here is what you want to do. And it's gonna involve some strategy and also a lot of sacrifice. It's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy, but I'm telling you, it's these things you have to do for a short period of time in your life in order to get your head above water and start to actually win. And then later you get to reap the benefits of it. But if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting what you've been getting. So you have to change not only how you think about money, but also what you've been doing with money. So first and foremost, before you do anything, the baby steps that we're gonna talk about, anything, you need to catch up if you're behind on any bills, okay? So I want you to do this by budgeting. I want you to do this by cutting expenses that you maybe have never cut before. I want you to do anything to bring in extra income so that you can put all of that money, again, to get current on your bills. And some big things you can also do is I want you to pause retirement. So if you still have debt and you don't have an emergency fund, I do not want you funding retirement. Pause that. So that can actually be money back in your paycheck that you're going to get. So pause that. Also, another big place to earn some money or to get some money back in your paycheck and into your life is look at all of the insurances that you have in your life. So this could be home, auto, life insurance. This is one part of your life that you may just have. Maybe you got it years ago in that policy and you just keep paying it, but you can actually get far better rates, way cheaper coverage, and that will save you. I mean, even if it saves you $100 a month, that's $100 that is not there right now, and it gives you margin. So those are a couple of big things you can do to put money back to get you current. Okay, then the next thing I want you to do is knock out baby step one. And this is we're gonna save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. And I want you to do this quickly. And when I say quickly, I mean like 30 to 60 days. I want you to save $1,000. Now, that seems impossible. If you're someone living paycheck to paycheck right now and you're behind on your bills, you're thinking, I can't even catch up with what I have currently. How the heck am I gonna save money? Well, again, putting those things in place to get caught up, I want you current. And then the same sacrifice you were doing to get current with your bills, I want you to keep making those sacrifices. I want you to keep saying, we're not gonna pay for cable, we're gonna cut subscriptions. Any membership we have is going out, we're not going out to eat, we're not going on vacation, like we're doing nothing. And then we're gonna bring in more income than we've ever brought in. We're gonna get extra jobs, do what you can to get that $1,000. And again, doing this quickly is important for a couple of things. One, if you don't have savings, I want money in the bank for you, but I also want you to start to feel these quick wins. I want you to be like, okay, I can do this. Like once you get current on your bills, you're gonna feel like the weight of the world is like, okay, I'm actually above water. And then when you actually have money saved in the bank, you're gonna feel on top of the world like, okay, I can do this, because it is so important to get those quick wins. And so again, during this process of getting that $1,000 emergency fund, I also want you to look into term life insurance if you don't have that. Life insurance is so key to have if someone is dependent upon your income. It's really important for you to have that. And also get a will. This is really inexpensive, but it's one of those things that you want to have in your life, again, in case something happens. So being intense about getting that $1,000 is really important. And what's gonna help with that too is your budget. doing your budget and saying, okay, this is what we have and we're sticking to this. When the money runs out of a category, we're not borrowing from other categories, we're not changing it. No, this is the budget. I want you to be so disciplined in the beginning and really get this under you because it's going to give you control. And again, the goal for you is to have more income coming into your bank accounts than going out of expenses every single month. So cut out whatever you can. Now, I'm gonna take a quick break and tell you about our sponsor, Christian Healthcare Ministries. So these days, every dollar matters, and taking care of your family matters too. With Christian Healthcare Ministries, you can care for your family's health and bank account. To learn more, go to chministries.org/Rachel. So if you've tried all of this and you truly don't have anything left to cut, it might be time for you to think about some bigger and more drastic changes. So that might include getting a completely different job with a higher salary. It could be taking on a second job. It could even be moving someplace where the cost of living is lower. And I know a move is a really big deal, but you don't even have to leave the state you're currently in. So for example, here in Tennessee, housing is really expensive in cities like Nashville and Franklin. But if you drive just 30 minutes down the Interstate 65, down the highway to a smaller town like Columbia, Tennessee, the prices are so much better. So it might mean more of a commute or being a little bit further out than what you expected, but it is worth it to have margin. So it might take some shopping around and looking at downsizing, but it really can help. You can also check out the video I did on big ways to move the needle when you're paying off debt as well. All right, for high income earners out there, remember to keep your lifestyle in check. If you are earning a high income, but you still find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, that might mean that you have something called lifestyle creep. We talked about this in a previous episode, but this is a real thing. As you earn more money, you just keep buying more and more and upgrading more and more. And this is where the lie comes in, and people say, well, if I just had more income, I would be okay. But listen, the habits that you have with a lower income are gonna be the same habits you have with a higher income. It's just gonna be more expensive. And so you wanna be able to change your habits no matter where you are. But that has to be important, you guys. You have to be able to say, okay, yes, we earn this amount, but we are still living paycheck to paycheck. So cut the crap, cut the stuff that you're like, why do I feel like I need that? If you have 2 car payments sitting in your driveway, if you're living off credit cards and you're just like, well, we can just buy whatever we want whenever we want it. No, you have to be disciplined. I don't care how much you make. People think, well, if I just made this much, I would not have debt. And that's not always the case because again, your lifestyle just keeps inflating if you don't keep it in check. So if you get a raise, and that's what's crazy about the world today is people are getting paid more than ever when it comes to their jobs. Like it's insane out there, the salaries that people are making. And so be aware of that. And yes, the expenses are insane as well with inflation and all of that, but be aware, okay? Just be aware that when you are making a great income, take advantage of that. And you may be cutting things that you thought, oh, we could be able to afford it and it's not a big deal. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's not the case. You can always live above your means. And I don't want that for you. I want you to live below it. So make a plan. And the other thing is, no matter what range of income you make, you work hard for that income and you want it to go as far as possible. So don't stick in the cycle of debt. Don't stick in the cycle of, well, I'll just worry about that later. I'm gonna just enjoy life. If you wanna win, you guys, you have to be intentional regardless of the income you make. And yes, do people have bigger shovels in life because of their income? Absolutely. But it doesn't matter. Your habits are what are key. We've done study after study of baby steps millionaires who have done this stuff and they're on a teacher salary. I mean, they're a police officer. Like they have these jobs that are not a doctor or a lawyer, but they have the habits that allow them to be stable and in control and build wealth. And that is what I want for you. So if you are living paycheck to paycheck, no, you can break the cycle. Okay, there is hope. People do it every day, but it's gonna take a different approach and a different way of looking at your money and controlling your money. And that's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's going to be worth it because I want you to take control of your money and create a life you love.